Every empire is born from an act of courage and survives through acts of cunning. Machiavelli did not paint reality in bright colors. He revealed the shadows behind the throne. His lessons have crossed centuries because they speak the truth no one dares to admit out loud. Power belongs to those who see man as he truly is. These 9 lessons were not made to be beautiful, but to be useful. They do not demand that you be cruel, only that you wake up to reality.
Lesson 1. Understand human nature. Every empire is born from an act of courage and survives through acts of cunning. Machiavelli did not paint reality in bright colors. He revealed the shadows behind the throne. His lessons have crossed centuries because they speak the truth no one dares to admit out loud. Power belongs to those who see man as he truly is. These 9 lessons were not made to be beautiful, but to be useful. They do not demand that you be cruel, only that you wake up to reality. Lesson 2. Choose between being loved or being feared.
Machiavelli was clear. Having both is almost impossible. If you must choose, choose to be feared. Love is fragile and depends on the feelings of others, which change like the wind. Fear, when properly measured, is lasting. A beloved prince may be abandoned when love fades, but a feared prince keeps people under control even in hard times. Beware, however, fear must never turn into hatred. Fear should be just enough to guarantee discipline without sparking deadly revolt. The secret lies in balance. He who is only loved loses respect. He who is only cruel loses the throne. He who can be feared without being hated rules.
Lesson 3. Take care of your image.
Who you are matters, but what you appear to be matters even more. People judge more with their eyes than with their minds. They do not see your heart, only what you show. You don't need to be truly generous, but you must appear generous. People rarely seek the truth. They settle for appearances. That's why those who control their image dominate the narrative. Image is the shield of power. It prevents enemies from perceiving your weaknesses. Even when you must make unpopular decisions, maintain a posture that conveys confidence and legitimacy.
Lesson 4. Avoid being hated.
Being feared is useful, but being hated is fatal. Hatred unites people against you, destroys alliances, and fuels revolts. A ruler who inspires hatred loses the protection of the masses and opens space for enemies to rise in the shadows. Hatred is not just an emotion. It is an active force that mobilizes people against you. When the people hate, even allies hesitate, and your security dissolves. A wise prince punishes without humiliating and rewards without underestimating. To avoid being hated, steer clear of unnecessary abuses and obvious injustices. Every decision must be made with an awareness of its consequences for public sentiment. Hatred is a poison that corrodes power from within.
Lesson 5. Be unpredictable.
Predictability is a weakness. He who always acts the same way becomes easy to manipulate and attack. A wise prince shifts strategies, surprises opponents, and keeps allies alert. Unpredictability is a weapon that dismantles plots against you. If the enemy never knows what to expect, he cannot form solid alliances to bring you down. It is like water, changing shape to escape the hands that try to contain it. Being unpredictable does not mean acting without purpose, but acting with wisdom and surprise. The art lies in knowing when to be consistent and when to flip the game, always keeping the initiative.
Lesson 6. Use violence sparingly.
Violence is a legitimate tool of power, but its excessive use destroys everything. Violence must be swift, decisive, and controlled. Prolonged cruelty breeds hatred and rebellion. Excessive violence drives away allies and strengthens enemies. Violence should be an occasional instrument, not a routine. Force must frighten enough to ensure obedience, but not so much that it awakens deadly hatred. To use violence wisely, the prince must act quickly. Slow, drawn-out violence causes suffering that feeds resentment. Swift, precise violence eliminates threats before they grow.
Lesson 7. Control your luck.
Fortune influences our lives, but true power lies in how we respond to it. A wise prince is not dominated by fate. He prepares for the unexpected and acts with courage. Machiavelli compared fate to an unpredictable river. You can be swept away by the current or build dikes to guide it. The prince who waits passively for luck is doomed to ruin, but he who acts decisively shapes his own future. Mastering fortune requires swift and decisive action. Hesitation allows chance to rule over you. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it.
Lesson 8. Strengthen your army and allies.
No power endures without a solid foundation of support. The prince must secure loyal armed forces and firm alliances, for these are the pillars that defend the throne against both internal and external threats. A strong army is not just weapons and soldiers, it is discipline, motivation, and leadership. The prince must cultivate strategic alliances, even temporary ones. Having weak or false allies is more dangerous than fighting alone. Maintaining the loyalty of allies requires constant attention. The prince must reward loyalty and punish betrayal firmly, but also remain attentive to signs of dissatisfaction and conspiracy.
Lesson 9. Use cunning over brute force.
Power is not conquered by brute strength alone, but by intelligence. The ability to manipulate situations, anticipate enemies, and create opportunities is worth more than massive armies. Cunning allows the leader to avoid direct confrontations, which are always risky. Instead, he employs strategies that slowly wear the enemy down. To win without fighting is the ultimate victory.
These 9 lessons are more than theory. They are practices that have endured through centuries. Understanding human nature, choosing between love or fear, managing your image, avoiding hatred, being unpredictable, using violence sparingly, mastering fortune, strengthening allies, and employing cunning are the foundations of true power. Machiavelli does not offer comfort, but tools to survive and win. Power is in your hands, but only if you act. This is not an invitation to be cruel, but to be realistic. Knowledge without action is useless. These lessons will only transform your life when you put them into practice. Power does not wait for those who hesitate. The time to decide is now.